So you mean to tell me that these things that people have been saying all these years are not true? Let's talk about it. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos drop every single Tuesday. So we've all heard things about the recruiting process from different people. A lot of times from people that have never even been recruited themselves. So let's talk about some of those things that we think, that we've heard from other people that we think are true, that are actually myths. First one, how many guys have you heard this? If I'm good enough, they're gonna find me. That's probably the biggest and most common recruiting myth that's out there. I know I've heard it 1,000 times, and I know you guys probably subscribe to that method as well. A couple of reasons why that statement is actually a myth. So I want you to think about this. If you're a junior or a senior, and you're still subscribing to the thought of, if I'm good enough, they're gonna find me, then you have the wrong mindset going into this process. Remember, if you were that good, they would have already found you. I want you guys to think of it from a college coach's perspective. The NCAA restricts college coaches from getting out to evaluate kids throughout the year. Remember, there are way more athletes than there are coaches. So please understand that a college coach can't be everywhere. College coaches don't have the time to be at every game. They don't have the time to be at every practice. They don't have the time to be at every combine or camp. Did you guys know that the average recruiting budget for schools outside of the major Division I schools, the average recruiting budget is $2,000, which means most of their recruiting is actually done locally because they don't have the budget to fly all over the country to see different kids from all over the place. This whole process is all about being proactive. If you're not proactively reaching out to coaches, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball. Don't sit back and wait for the coaches to come to you. So please be proactive in this process. The second biggest recruiting myth: my grades don't matter. Grades absolutely do matter. It's funny, anybody that knows me knows how important and how much I stress the importance of academics when it comes to recruiting. That's your process. Don't be that kid that thinks that my athletic ability alone will get me to college and I don't have to commit myself to the classroom. There's a competition for scholarships all across the country with student athletes. There are too many kids that are excelling at both on the field and off the field for a coach to just settle on one kid who's just excelling on the field and not taking care of his classwork. If you can excel at both, one thing that you will become is a commodity to college coaches. Coaches want kids who can do it all. And if you're not that kid that can do both, then you know what? He's gonna go find himself a kid who can do both. Don't just do enough just to get by. Remember this, minimum grades equal minimum opportunities. So don't do yourself a disservice by limiting your opportunities. Take care of your schoolwork. The third biggest myth about the college recruiting process is, my coaches got this. You know what? I actually thought the same exact thing when I was coming out of high school. I thought my high school coach could be doing more to put me out there to college coaches and to promote me more to coaches, but I never understood what his role was in the process. I always assumed that was his role. Here are a couple of things I want you to know about high school coaches. Most of your high school coaches are teachers. Most of your high school coaches have families. Some of your high school coaches are athletic directors. A high school coach will spend anywhere from 80 to 90 hours a week, from coaching to teaching to game days to practice, all those things combined, 80 to 90 hours a week. Seriously? The average work week is 40 hours a week. So they're doing more than double the time with those responsibilities that they have. And then you think about this, you have 15 seniors on the team. Do you honestly think a high school coach has time to send out information to 100 different schools for 15 different kids? No, he doesn't. It's impossible. So please understand that this process is yours and not the coaches. You have to be proactive in your own process. Some coaches do a great job with helping their kids because they have the time to do it. Most coaches simply do not have the time, and they're not obligated to get you to college. Remember, it's your process and your responsibility. Don't leave your future in someone else's hands. The fourth biggest recruiting myth: Coaches can't talk to me. It's too early. You know, recruiting has changed a lot since I was in high school back in the late 90s. You know, back when I was in high school, the recruiting process actually started around your junior year. But now, with the birth of social media, coaches are identifying prospects as early as their freshman year. And the recruiting process has sped up tremendously. The larger Division I schools, they're recruiting kids 2, sometimes 3 years ahead of time. So don't wait. Remember, be proactive. The sooner you start, the better opportunity you'll have at connecting with college coaches, at building a relationship with college coaches, possibly getting a scholarship with that school. The final recruiting myth. My size doesn't matter. I'm still going Division I. You know, as an athletic recruiting advisor, man, I've talked to a lot of student athletes. Every single student athlete that I've talked to wants to play ball at Division I level. I call it D1itis. I got the itis. But I want to give you a couple stats really quick to kind of put things in perspective for you guys. So think about all the kids that play high school sports. There are about 8 million across the country that play high school sports. Only 4.5% of all of those high school kids will get a chance to play at the collegiate level. Only 1% will get a chance to play at the Division I level, and 0.5% will get a chance to play at a Power 5 conference school like a SEC or ACC or a Big Ten. There's just simply not enough opportunity for everybody to play Division I football. Fair or unfair, D1 coaches have physical characteristics that they look for in certain student athletes. And if you don't fit in their box of what they're looking for, then chances are you won't be considered a Division I prospect. You have to have the size, the strength, the speed, and the stats to even be considered a Division I prospect. I want you guys to understand, it's not about going to the biggest school. Again, it's not about the name on the front of your jersey. It's about you finding your right fit and going to the school that you will fit both academically and athletically. And when you get to that school, dominate the level that you're at. So what do you guys think of some of these myths? Have you heard of some of these? Or have you even said some of these at some point? Comment below and let me know what you think. And if you like this video, hit the like button below. Share it with your friends and be sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.